Classic. Oh, hello. My name is Mr. Hughes, and I don't normally wear glasses, and I don't normally read the dictionary, but I do teach your kid math, and I'm sure right now you're wondering whether you should let that continue to happen. So let me tell you a little bit about myself, and we'll take it from there. Welcome to Mr. Hughes's virtual open house. One of the most difficult aspects of my job as a middle school math teacher is making the material relatable and relevant to 11-year-olds. Obviously, if things don't tick or talk or Instagram instantly, then it's going to be hard for a student to buy into the program. And if a student doesn't buy into what they're learning, they are less likely to retain it or be able to use it. Talking about how things will be used in the real world is very important to me. So much that I actually put this poster on the wall by a famous mathematician that talks about the idea that, yes, applications are great and I will always give those, but even if something doesn't have an everyday use, if it's more abstract math, it's still building up the part of the brain that's in charge of logic and problem solving, which you can use in everyday life. So, speaking of the real world, why don't we go for a walk? But first, we gotta put our gear on. So here we go. Into the real world, shall we? Here we go. I've been teaching in Bala, Cynwyd for over 20 years. And during that time, I've taught every level of math in the building. So I feel very comfortable with what your students will need going next year to succeed in 7th and 8th grade. Another thing I've learned during my 2 decades of teaching, I've been teaching for 2 decades? Oh, sorry, I had a moment there. Anyway, during my 2 decades of teaching, I've picked up a lot of tricks. And one of those tricks I love to use is brain teasers. A brain teaser is a great way to get the brain working and get students to love math. So, instead of asking your kids, hey, what'd you do today? You could always say, did you hear any good brain teasers today in math? All right, come on, let's go. Back in the safety of my room. Now, let's talk about specifics of how I'm going to run a class. In a 90-minute period, here's how the breakdown should look. The first 20 minutes of every class will be spent on taking attendance, checking in, and reviewing the previous night's assignment. My expectations for homework is that it be completed with effort. When I look for that, that's all I expect. We will go over every assignment in class, and that's the time that they can ask questions, make corrections, and figure out what they did wrong the night before. The reason why I don't think homework should lose points for incorrect answers is because I think homework should be a time that students take risks. They feel comfortable learning it, and I don't want them to live in fear that they're going to lose points if they try something and it's wrong. We can always save that for the assessments. After the homework assignment, then we'd spend 10 minutes on a brain teaser. So feel free to ask your child about any examples. There should be plenty so far. Then we will take a short break after the brain teaser, and then from about 35 minutes to 60 minutes, that's when we will learn our new material. I use many slideshows. Every slideshow is available to be downloaded from the Blackboard for extra assistance anytime a student needs that. After we learn the new material, then for the last 30 minutes of the 90-minute class, students will have their classwork or homework assignment. While they work, if they feel completely confident, they can log off, they can do the work asynchronously, but I'm there on the Zoom anytime they need to come back and ask me any questions, so I will remain the entire time. That is how I run my class, and that is what we will do until the next change in attendance. All jokes aside, my first priority as a teacher is the health and well-being of your child. Beyond that, everything else is secondary. But as a teacher, I do hope that I can teach them some math along the way, and I hope that while we're learning the math, we can have some fun. I try to put humor into everything I do. That way, at least one person is always entertained in the room. It's usually me. But sometimes I'll get some chuckles from the kids. I do want to mention also that I do have 3 kids of my own. Twin daughters who are just entering virtual kindergarten, and those are 2 words that should not exist together. So my wife is dealing with that, and I also have a 3-year-old son. By the way, best daddy ever. I did receive this award, so I'm sorry to all those fathers watching this. I've already gotten it. So I do want to thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. My email is hughesk@lmsd.org. HUGHESK@lmsd.org. Thank you so much. Have a good night. What are you still doing here? The open house video is over. I'll walk you out. Come on, let's go.